My peeps, hello, hello. Oh, we got some of the sage, the Palo Santo smoke going up. That's nice. I bless the camera. I bless myself. I bless the table. I bless the four directions. And what that does is just, I've got glasses all over the place. Just kind of set the intention that this is a sacred space. That it's not just my dining room table, it becomes something bigger than that. You all have a seat here. So this was a bit odd, but this morning, again, in my bath, which is sort of like the source of it's the time I can just, I was going to say chill out. It's not quite that, but relax and stuff starts coming up. And what came up for me this morning was various nicknames I've had. And oddly enough, well, an example of one kind, at a job that I actually loved, I was the only woman in the office, me and the receptionist. So they called me the uppity broad, because there were 7 guys and me. And, and I didn't mind that. I thought it was funny. I thought it was, I'll cop to that. It's kind of like I wasn't a meek little mouse in the corner. Even though it was a new job, I didn't really know it was uppity broad. The other one was at another job where I was working with emotionally disturbed adolescent girls who were in a group home that was like the one step away from lockdown. The kids were actually great. Challenging. Sometimes I just acted like an idiot around them. And that's what... I think it was started by the woman who was the cook, who I liked a lot. She was grumpy and overworked. She called me the educated idiot. Not to my face. Another staff member told me, here comes Rube, that's your nickname, the educated idiot. And again, I thought it was really funny and sort of thought, that sort of sticks in a way because I am educated and I do feel like an idiot a lot of the time. And I did in that circumstance because it was like a crazy environment and I was never sure if I was helping anybody. Then the other 2 were, well, one was Miss Priss, and that appeased me a bit too. I was a little kid and an older sibling would call me that as a way to kind of shame me for being cautious, I guess. And I had really good reason to be cautious. It was in some ways like a minefield, this family. But that's what she called me. And even as a tiny little kid, I thought, I am not a Miss Press. I'll show you. I'm an uppity broad, stand back. The other one was somebody in a text to me addressed it, "Oh, spiritual one." And immediately I sort of bristled because I thought, this is facetious. This is them making fun of me. And then I thought, well, maybe they mean it, but they're saying, I'm not the spiritual one. And it was a way to sort of distance, and maybe it was all of this stuff. The work that I do here, I don't think this person ever saw me in action, but they knew me pretty well. And anyway, I bristled at that. I don't really know why. It was something to do with tap into your own spirit. Don't think it's just me. because that's a kind of a cop-out to say, it's, you're the spiritual one and I'm whatever it is I am. Anyway, I don't know. The two words that came to me lying on the tub that I thought were interesting is that you can either express or repress. That's sort of a decision all the time. Do I open the door? Do I close the door? Do I grow this thing? Do I, stamp it out? Bruce getting into the rocking chair, which is always a challenge. First card out. I'm going to do 3 out. Different deck. We have Temperance. Card of Sagittarius. I happen to have it written down here. Card of Integration. That's just such a succinct way of, I usually give this big rap about the blend, but it is about a blend. It's this, the sun, moon, masculine, feminine, in balance. The synthesis of those two, the integration. It's a card of healing and divine timing. When can this energy step into our lives? Okay, I'm going to do the row of 3. In that same fire energy, Sagittarius is a fire sign. King of Wands. Divine timing, this individual could be a Leo, is stepping up. He's going to do something. He's a lion-hearted, brave, direct. I mean, there's very much a here I am quality, and look at him. I mean, he's magnificent. Oh, spiritual one. Because this person has this angelic presence. I think it's Archangel Michael. I'm not familiar with all my archangels, but it's the heavenly thing being channeled through this person. Oh, spiritual one. I'll say Judgment. I mean, to me, this is somebody in a kind of prayer pose, wanting to elevate. In fact, through some act of grace or release, their ethereal body is rising up. Oh, spiritual one. It's also, Judgment is a card of a crossroads, a choice, a reconciliation, maybe, of these two energies. It's about new life, Wands energy, life force, creativity, drive. Okay, the next 3, I'm going to lay them out together. We have Empress. We have 2 of Pentacles. And we have Knight of Swords. Okay. Empress is a card of Taurus, divine feminine energy, creativity, giving birth to something. Could be a project, could be giving birth to oneself. Empress isn't codependent with anybody. She's grounded. She knows her own worth. She's pregnant with possibility. And I think somebody is making a decision about which option is more viable. Where can I invest more time and energy? And again, this sort of the 2, the sun, moon, and these 2 here. Often, 2 of Pentacles is a card of balance, and I'm going to read it that way because of that Temperance card. Balance, integration, synthesis. But I think a choice has been made that on the basis of those things, We have 3 out of the 6 are major arcana. This is an important decision. It involves rebirth and a new life. Being empowered. Perhaps in divine timing, coming into your own spiritual. You know, King of Wands is, Wands are creative, and so is Empress. Coming into it's full term. You've come into this creative time. To birth the new thing. Perhaps, you know, a spiritual birth. But somebody is taking action, and it's something about travel. And I always see this card as involving 2 legs of a race. Like first this individual who has a, what are those things called? Crossbow on their back. You know, they've got something to say. They've got an aim and a, you know, they're moving in fast to say something, to make a declaration of some kind. And it's a trip that involves 2 legs, you know, you go to one destination and then you go to the next. So as fast as they're going, you know, at the speed of the falcon or the eagle or whatever, they're following the guides, the messages that have spoken to them. So now they're going to speak it to somebody else. It's like this transfer, having to switch trains, or, you know, it might just be second leg of the race, as in, once I understand this sword energy, then I can move forward and perhaps communicate it to somebody else. Wands energy is fast, the energy of Sag and Wands. Sag, I mean, yeah, the Temperance card isn't really fast, but it is about tempo, divine timing. And I think something in this person, like they're lit up, they're ready to make the move, to do it, Wands energy. They know where to go, they know what to do. And here they come. They've made a decision, perhaps about somebody they see as a uppity broad, I don't know, high value. You know, only uppity in the sense of stature and who knows her own worth, Empress, who knows her own value, that earth energy, pentacles, value, who will not sell herself short, takes care of herself, takes care of, you know, the people within her reach, who are open to her. And I'd say, King of Wands, open to her. Can you tell us the message, please? That was very fast, like a Knight of Swords fast. Swords are fast. They're about the, you know, at the sort of, you know, you think about it and you do it. Sword energy, I think, and then I act. Wow, 2 more major arcana. To manifest something. Magician. A card of Virgo, Gemini. How do I bring the thing from the conceptual arena into 3D life? How do I manifest it? How do I make it happen? It is a 2-legged race. This is a pause. This is the rest stop. The layover. Some period of suspension that's necessary. This person needs to slow down, because there's some epiphany to be gained when they stop. You know, they've booked it, and then they have to get on this motorcycle and do the next phase. But the next phase, evidently, is to find space to process feelings in order to manifest, in order to create something. Perhaps with somebody that they see as very high value, divine feminine. And they are passionate about this. They want her. They know they want her. They're on fire. And yet, paired up with a card of peace and healing and divine timing. So they're not wrong, this fire energy. World, last card in the major arcana. And we have so many in here. Judgment, Temperance, card of Sag, Empress, Taurus, Magician, Virgo, Gemini, Hangman, Pisces, and now the World card, which some people say is Capricorn. It's the end of which would make it an earth energy on Empress. It's the end of something and the beginning of something else. And I often see it as somebody stepping through the portal, through the aperture, through the cervix, to be born. Something's ready to be born. It's divine timing. Time to really come into their own, because they've completed some kind of cycle. And it wasn't easy. May have been hard labor, Capricorn energy, working very hard to let something go. But it really blows somebody into the next phase. I've arrived, here I am. Two of Wands. But this is like planning the second leg of the race. It's like something's happened, here I am, everything's changed, cycles have closed out, something's come full term, it's ready to be born, and then there's this sort of, okay, I've got to make a decision about how to get there. The globe, looking out the window. Has picked a direction, holding on to one wand. Wands are directional. This is about a decision. And I think it's a decision to go ahead and step into the new life. Into the new life. The born again. The born again. Because things happen in cycles. They just do. And as they happen in our psyche, in this land of archetypal stories or, landmarks that are familiar to all of us, we can either express or repress. That's the choice. And I think somebody's choosing to step into their new life, to let this thing grow, be born, be nourished, Empress. On Temperance, Seven of Wands. Again, a fire energy, Wands energy on Temperance, a fire sign. But again, this idea of holding up a bit, because this person is not jumping on a motorcycle and zooming off. We know that they're pausing to figure out, how do I do this? How do I close out the cycle and begin the next one? And now they're meditating on it. They're not looking at it directly. There's something about an oblique approach. It's not A to B. There's something, give me the space. And it's on that card of Temperance, which we identified as the spiritual one. Well, the spiritual one is kind of waiting on the go from the divine. And how will they know? By shutting out, to a degree, outside influences, all these other wands, insulating themselves. so that they can figure out their own direction in their own timing, Temperance. You know, this is a great sense of direction and a willingness to take action. Okay, on Judgment, we have Three of Swords. That's a pain. I mean, you know, it's right on the face of it. It's anguish. It's some sort of, you know, it's sitting in this blasted landscape. Something about this hurt kind of turned everything to black and white. To ash, to smoke and ash, this blasted landscape. And somebody's, you know, often that's the case, isn't it? That what kind of spurs on spiritual growth isn't when everything's placid and groovy. It's when the shit hits the fan. And something happened to us that, like, you know, our way of being in the world, of thinking about the world, took such a hit, blasted the landscape. But pain often is the prompt to grow. Often is the thing that shows us our power, points us in a new direction. If we were at a crossroads, you know, don't want to go here again. To me, this is the memory of pain. So it's like we're rising above it. We're moving beyond it. We're moving into new life. And this I see almost just like the swords or the breaking of the water. You know, a natural precursor to the birth, to the labor pains. Yeah, Queen of Cups. A good match for King of Wands, that's for sure. This is somebody who's receptive. You know, open-hearted, letting in the love, letting in the energy of love. That's what she's receiving, right? Oh, spiritual one. Open-hearted. It's the first, it's not the first water sign, but it's the first one that sort of speaks to, in this lifetime, being able to achieve this kind of openness. This kind of openness. The opening of the aperture and the birth of this new thing. And it's like, I'll be here to receive it. I'm in tune with the chi, with the birthing energies of the cosmos. I'll even like midwife this birth. I'll midwife this birth. Yeah, they're saying one more. Okay, Justice, another major arcana. This is a card of Libra, of balance in relationship. This side to this side, balance. This side to this side, balance. This side to this side. It's all about integration. It's all about equilibrium. Balance between these two things and between this person and their inner self. Air sign energy. To do with clarity and, you know, the ability to, I'm hearing no shit from Shine Hollow. That's not a very, you know, if you got that in your fortune cookie, what? Clarity. The birth of the new. The birth of the true thing. And this is like fading away. New life after heartbreak. It spurred your spiritual growth. It opened the aperture. The labor pains. Yeah, thank you, new subscribers. Thank you, old subscribers. Thank you, channel members. A couple more people have signed on. Here, let me sit down. Just explain. Subscribing's free. All it does is build the channel, grow the channel, so that the YouTube algorithm knows that we're real here. And growing in number, right? So it'll circulate more. It's just a nod to, I'm on board with this. And if you want to actually kick in, it's a monthly fee to join. It's very minimal fee. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. It's a tip in the hat. I'm busking on the corner. I'm singing my heart out. It's a way to drop a buck or two in the hat. Regardless, I'll be here singing, and see you next time.